educated, and then all of a sudden,
but I'm pretty sure it's one of the same people in here.
just a few more days. I was so excited too. I was just like, bro, I'm poor.
Hey, our fellow delusionists, it's the girls Shayna and Winona, and we're back at it again with chapters 1 through 15 of the new book that we're starting, The Ballad of Never After, which is book 2 in the series Once Upon a Broken Heart. Okay?
So there will be
Buckle up.
spoilers and whatnot as a warning.
Oh, yes. In every episode, there's going to be spoilers, so as long as you're cool with it or as long as you've read, that's totally fine, but don't get mad at us because we're warning you. And seatbelts, like, buckle up, get started. It's already a crazy ride. One of the things that we learn, right, is Tiberius got imprisoned for killing his brother, and then Apollo is in a coma, suspectedly. And so now this random cousin Prince Lucian is coming into play. Um, so when Evangeline goes to meet him, who is it other than her ex-boyfriend, Prince, no, he's not even a prince, Luke. It's Luke. Lucian, Luke, that's who it is. Let me say, jaw dropped.
Honestly, the first 5 chapters, like, so many huge things came out, right? Like, Luke is Lucian, who's supposedly this long distance cousin, which he said that it's supposed to be true, but I don't know if I fully believe that. But anyways, and then Apollo isn't dead. He's in this suspended state, somewhat like what she was when she was stone, right? And just like, and that's just all in the 5 chapters, right? Like, that's so crazy. It did not let up. I really thought that there was going to be a break or some sort of her trying to find a cure or something to just give us a bit of a breather before it really got in there again. But no, it just kept the same energy from the first page, really. Like, ah!
Right. Spoiler alert, Stephanie Garber does not believe in breaks.
Know that now, I guess.
Right. And the crazy thing is she knows that Jax is the one that can he can undo everything, right? He can make Apollo not in this suspended state. But we all know that Jax is gonna use this to get her to open the arch. So she's going and she's visiting Apollo and she's like just trying everything to get him awake. I'm skipping a little bit. We'll go back. But anyway, she is trying to wake him up and she's talking to Jax and Apollo wakes up. She like goes to Jax and he like grabs her wrist and she's like, "What?" And his eyes are red. And Jax is like, mm. And he tries to kill her because, newsflash, spoiler alert, someone put a curse on Apollo and Evangeline. And because they're married, basically what the curse is, it's the Archer and the Fox curse, right? So it's kind of like where whatever entries Apollo gets, Evangeline will have the same, and whatever entries Evangeline gets, Apollo will have the same. And when his eyes turn red, he has this like never-ending like desire to like hunt her and to kill her. And so now he is just on the loose with his golden bow and arrow, and he is just hunting her down, which is not ideal. So this is that little like subplot that's happening. But anyway, so she's going down to visit Apollo, and the prince comes, Lucian, where we find out it's Luke. Um, and he again tries to bite Evangeline.
In kind of his defense, she was bleeding because Jax cut oh my goodness, I am blanking on everybody's names. Apollo's hand when he gripped her because he wasn't letting go and it was just getting tighter and tighter and nobody could figure out what was going on. So he cut her, right? And that's what stopped, or he cut him and that's what stopped. So in his defense, she was bleeding again. and it was coming out more in that moment than it was before. So, in his defense as a new vampire, there's this source of blood.
Yeah. So part of me wonders actually if he smelled the blood, yes. But there's got to be some underlying reason as to why he keeps trying to like seek her out and be like, "Ooh, like let me bite you."
Oh,
Like
I agree.
he's got to be. And then it's also weird because he invited Marisol for dinner. Um, but they weren't eating dinner. She was going to be the dinner. So that
Which honestly,
sketch.
understood because honestly, if
She's
there was
kind of
a guy who put me under a spell and I had a okay life with this other dude that I liked, and this other guy put me under a spell to marry him and all these things and put me through all of this hell basically, and now I'm a vampire because trying to get out of this, right? I would probably be doing something similar. Being like this is
Yeah, if I was
revenge.
Evangeline, I'd be like, go right in, girl. He's waiting for you. Like,
Especially the way that she was talking to her and everything. Just, you
oh
deserve, like,
my
oh,
gosh.
you're such a hypocrite trying to be with Jax now?
But
Babes,
like
I'm trying to get away
talk
from
about
him.
always yeah, talk about like always playing the victim. Like, I may have used a love potion on him and I may have tried to get you arrested, but like my life is so hard. Like,
Yes.
shut
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like, um, but also one important thing that was just was the way that once again Jax stepped in and like, Luke pounced, was trying to bite her, and then once again Jax stepped in the way and like deflected this time so he didn't get bit again, which is like really nice.
Yeah, and he said somebody was like holding
But
him back, so I don't know who was holding him back or how that was working, but both Havelock was safe and Jax was safe, so that was, and obviously Evangeline, so that was really really nice. It wasn't like someone else
yeah,
getting bit or something.
right, but listen to this. Gentle hands instead of harsh ones wrapped protectively around her, pulling her toward a cold, hard chest. Swoon. Swoon.
We're getting so many
So,
good, butterfly moments that just make you
right.
eat it up.
Just oh, and then you find out that Chaos and Luke are working together, and Chaos got Luke in the on the throne, which
Yeah, I don't know why. I can't think of a reason other than, I don't know, in the end to get Chaos more power or free reign if things go his way, right? I just,
control.
yeah, because she said that Luke was easy to control because he's new and he's willing to do anything if he's told pretty things and thinks that he's getting ahead in life. So,
He's like really arrogant, right? And so that's what I think. Like, I think Luke is definitely like Chaos's like little puppet.
yeah.
Um, Definitely like she mentioned this thing that was really, I think, kind of important to Luke's character, right? Where he was very like he expected the finer things, right?
Mm-hmm.
He expected to be like given the fine things in life, right? And so it would be very easy for Chaos to be like, well, I can get you the throne. You have all this power, but you just need to do this for me, right?
Yeah, and he just
So
easily
I got,
believed all of it.
yeah, stupid Luke,
Selfish Luke.
stupid sweet summer child. Except you're not so sweet, are you? Wait. Oh, and then there's that whole like, so anyway, so they get Apollo attacks her in that little basement weird thing, right? Because he woke up, his eyes are red. Um, she is like super injured. So Jax takes her to the vampire place, Chaos's house.
Right, because Apollo shot her
Apollo shot her.
twice.
Um, and
Well, yeah, tried to at
and
least twice or two. Yeah, something like that.
right. And so this is the crazy part. He's like, "Well, we want to heal you really quickly." And so they had a vampire bite her and the venom one. And so she healed really quickly. But then, and this is the crazy part. It's like, she gets like free from her cages and then there's just chaos pinning her down. And I was like, this little, And like to the point where like once like the venom was like flushed from her system, like her like little slip had like,
Gone up to her
and
hips.
so that scene where Jax comes in and he's just like, what are you doing?
What's
That
going
was
on?
also, I was just like, right, Jax comes in and he just sees like chaos on top of her and he's like, and she's just like screaming whatever.
I also love the moment when she did tease Chaos because this cage came over her, right? And
Hmm.
she's just writhing and because she's in pain and it's hard, right? Understandably. And
Right.
I don't think Chaos was making fun of her, but anyways, he's talking to her saying you're not getting out, like you don't want this. And so what she did to convince him to open the cage was basically to bite her lip so that there was blood and to say open please, and that's
Hmm.
all she said. And he like opened it and even his eyes were surprised, but then immediately just like throws his body on her to be like no. You're
He's like,
staying.
yeah. Yeah.
I just imagine him
Um,
like eating himself like what?
just yeah. Oh, and I love the juxtaposition between of like when Jax is, under the influence of the vampire venom versus when Evangeline is. And like his like Jax has so much more self-control than Evangeline does. And I feel like that kind of makes sense. He's a fate,
Yeah.
whatever. But also when they're describing about like how each other looks, like they both just like look at each other with like such desire, right? And it's like such foreshadowing. Like I think they're gonna get together. But I just love how kind of stupid they are in this moment. Like it's very enemies to lovers. They hate each other. They're denying like the feelings that they have, right? I don't know.
Well, and I think the reasoning
I
behind
think
Jax is he's trying to make her hate him, or at least not trying to be anything more than what he believes himself to be because he's killed so many girls. He's probably just thinking you're just going to be the other one, so hate me and run away, but
yeah.
also like don't.
Yeah.
So, but you skipped over, so I just wanted to talk about this at the very, 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 very beginning. It talked about her going to open that door in the library that she thought was going to have books and things to end the curse on Apollo. And her blood opens any
Yes.
door. So she used it to open the door and it worked. And so she was so excited. But then in the door was a little room and there was an arch. And immediately she's going to the arch and opening it, puts her blood on it, and is sitting there being like, please open, right? And it like glitters or there's all these lights, whatever. And I'm sitting there being like, why are you opening this arch? If I ever saw an arch, knowing the prophecy, every single arch I would be so wary of and not wanting to put my blood on it to open it. I just, why were you opening it? But it didn't open, obviously, because she needs to get the stones, blah, blah, blah. And that old librarian was there too. That's interesting. I want to know who
Yeah.
he is. But yeah, I just
Just
was so,
missed it
why?
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. I forgot about that. That whole part was crazy too. Like she like technically like kind of opened the arch, but then, she needs the stones. And that really ominous, like their conversation about like, oh yeah, we're gonna go get the stones, like good luck. And she's like, well, it doesn't seem so bad. And they're like, yeah, this will like ruin your life. Like
Oh,
these stones
yeah.
will ruin your life. And I'm like,
Right. No, I thought they
this is
were,
gonna be great.
yeah, I thought they were literally stones, but then when she saw that one stone with chaos and she was so possessive over it,
Mhm.
and it even affected chaos, that was surprising too. I genuinely thought they were just going to be stones and obviously hard to find, or maybe had little symbols on
Yeah.
them, something like that, but I didn't think that they would be as powerful as they are to her or to other people, especially chaos and
Yeah.
her, right? So that was really, really interesting. I also loved, though, how Apollo, after she's bitten, before every single time that he's going to hunt her, he has been warning her every single time, saying, please run
Hmm.
away.
Yeah.
Please don't come out. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Please get away, right? And I love that because I was so worried that he was going to wake up whenever he did and hate her, right? Because his last moments was being poisoned basically and seeing her face and saying,
Right.
what did you do? And her saying, oh, sorry, right? So of course him waking up being like that was his last memory. I would
Hmm.
blame her. I would think you're my enemy, but he cares for her and
Right.
is trusting, and he heard her when she was talking to him, but still I just the way that he
I
truly
thought that
cares
was
for
so
her.
sweet too.
Yeah. I just love that
Yeah,
without
he's
the
like, I
curse.
heard you. Right. And like I love the difference too. It's like, when his eyes are like clear, like normal, like, he has like control over himself.
Mhm.
And he always just like has a few moments where he's like, please just run. Like I can't. Like he's like, I can't control, like it's like this overwhelming desire, and then his like eyes turn red and oh, swoon. And then the crazy thing too is I kind of didn't expect her to agree to this like so soon,
Yeah.
but like she agreed to help find the stones and open the arch. Which is that going to be a fatal mistake? Is that going to be good? We don't know. We don't know what's behind the arch. Both Jax and Chaos benefit from the arch opening, which is that a red flag? I think yes.
Yeah. I'm actually
Uh,
wondering if the stuff in the arch are keys because everybody keeps talking about
no.
opening things or breaking curses, right? So to
Hmm.
break or open the curse for Apollo, she has to do this. Jax wants something in there. Uh, Chaos wants his thing off to open it to unlock it, right? And then they keep
Hmm.
talking about having a back door. Every curse, everything has a back door, as if you need a key to open it. So I'm wondering if it's almost like this, like lanyard of just all these keys for all these different things.
Like a janitor's
Yeah,
key
like
set.
just just try to find the right
Well,
one,
this one doesn't work. Try
right?
again. Oh, next one. Like,
Yeah. So I mean, again, this is a flimsy guess, right? I'm not
yeah,
100% solid on that, but I do think it's curious that keys almost keep being a word that's used, but
yeah.
we'll see.
I also think too, like you said, this was like an arrow too,
Yes.
and I think it could also double as a key.
Oh,
Like,
that's really good. I like that.
yeah.
That looks like a key, yeah.
So I definitely think that key theory holds a lot of water or
Yep.
weight,
Yeah.
whatever the phrase is. Like,
I'm surprised with the arch, not the arch, the arrow was being used right away with Apollo,
right.
right? I thought maybe it would take more time, really slowly. And again, I thought it was going to be Jackson her because he keeps calling her little fox, that he somehow was
Hmm.
something about the arrow. I don't know. But the way that they
Yeah.
used it, I really like how it was used.
It's also kind of interesting. Is like Apollo, like the Greek god, also doesn't he have like right?
Maybe. I genuinely don't remember, but somehow that's making sense to me. You were saying about how she agreed too quickly, right? But I think with Lucian or Luke on the throne and Apollo not
Mm-hmm.
waking up and now he's awake, but he's cursed, I think she just came to a point where she realized that she's running out of time. There's no time. People are trying to kill her, meaning Apollo, who knows where she is seemingly all the time. So she's just run out of time
Yeah.
and has like no other options. So I think she just realized that and thought maybe I can control it once I do open it. And
Hmm.
I don't know. That's her hope, I think.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So it says here that Apollo, where did it go? Among other things, he is known for his supreme skills as an archer.
There you go. Wow. Okay.
So
Playing into every.
maybe she, Stephanie Garber is just connecting all the dots.
Yeah, seriously. Holy cow.
Yeah. I do think definitely like with Apollo being cursed,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're definitely right. Like it definitely sped up the process where she's like, fine, I'll open the freaking arch for you,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Whereas if I think if he wasn't cursed and like wasn't like trying to kill her every time she stepped outside of like the vampire den, like she would have just like dug her feet in.
Right. I
But
agree.
we all know Jax is relieved. He's like, finally, you'll stop fighting me.
I
Like,
think Jax was even panicking with everything going on, right? Because not only does he have to
yeah.
protect her from all the people during that, or with that group, the protector, or whatever people, to stop her
Hmm.
from opening the arch, but now he has to protect her from Apollo, who's cursed, so he's almost immortally like knows where she is, right? And
Right.
has this drive to kill her more than just the protector people. So I think he's panicking too with everything going on.
Yeah.
It's just
Like, please.
like wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, I did have a
So anyway.
theory because soon after that, they were saying with Apollo being woken up, blah, 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 because she was asking what
Hmm.
happened, how did this happen, who's cursed him, because she wants to know, right? They also said that Havelock is missing too. And Wild theory here, but I almost wonder if Havelock is the white horse that Apollo rides on that drives him to her. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe it's crazy, but I almost wonder because Apollo's cursed, and since Havelock's missing, no one has seen him. I just wonder if he's the horse. I don't know.
Ooh. I like it. I like that theory. Definitely not. Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, like I mean, wild theory, but yeah, that's
Right.
the only way I can connect those dots, I guess. Otherwise, I
Hmm.
don't know. Maybe the person who cursed Apollo stole Havelock because maybe he did see and is trying to keep him quiet. I don't know.
Hmm. Who knows?
Yeah, but this first 15 chapters have been phenomenal, right?
Crazy.
So good.
Yes. My theory about Stephanie Garber lacing her books with cocaine.
Yes.
Can't deny it.
No.
Undeniable. Timelines. Screenshots.
And
Whatever
I
that
just
phrase is. Yep.
love the way that she builds. I love the dresses. The description's beautiful. I love the food, the beehive cake with Lala and announcing that she's engaged.
Mhm.
Just sound amazing. She's not even
Uh,
describing the beehive cake, but I'm just imagining it tastes so good.
you're like, can I get a bite of that,
I'll
please?
take some.
Like you see in those TikTok videos where like these people like open books and they like seemingly step into this world. You're like,
Yes.
please, can I go in here?
Yeah, the parody ones where people are like, "Oh, I like that," and then they try to do it and just slam their book into the head, or yeah, their head into a book.
Yeah. I wonder though if just hit myself, but if we were to go in here, I wonder how long we would last, honestly.
Every single book I read, I assume I'm going to be dying immediately.
Especially in like the Fourth Wing series. I don't think I got it. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't.
I can't walk on a straight line on a completely flat ground.
You think I'm crossing the parapet?
No.
Maybe I'll just ask Violet for a piggyback ride and she'll just carry
There you
me
go.
across. That's a great idea. The girl with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome gonna be like dumped off and just falling down.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
I do think I would really enjoy this world though.
Yeah.
Shopping and all
Oh,
the
it
things.
seems so whimsical.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, definitely I would at least like to visit. Maybe not stay for an extended period of time, but I would like to
Yeah.
visit.
Try those dragon apples. Still thinking about them.
I almost like want to like Google like beehive cake
Right? I
and see
assume
if
it's
that's
gonna
like a cake.
have some sort of cookie, almost not maybe not more of a wafer or waffle cookie type thing, and obviously honey, and that's what I assume it's going to be like. That's what I imagine.
Honey's a necessity.
Yeah,
I know it'd be cool if like after we did these books, we could like just like whip up, do like a little like baking episode.
that would be really cool. Or that cookbook, right?
Yeah,
With each book or series
we
that we
do
read,
like yeah, and then we could just like put like all the recipes we make into that cookbook.
it would be so good.
Anyway, I think that's all we got, unless you have
Yeah.
any more theories.
No, I think that was it. I think it was a really good 15 chapters. A lot happened, but at the same time, there's so much
She's
that
just
we
building up for more to come.
yeah, like there's so much that we don't know that we can't make too many theories or too many opinions because I'm sure there'll be even more things that will just blow our minds.
I did have this quote though. Um, and this is like in the beginning of the book when Evangeline is just dead set on, I don't want this man within 50 feet of me. Like, keep him away at all times. And I don't know, this quote just has bangers, right? And she goes, but now it was crystal clear. He was the one who did the breaking because he didn't know how to love.
I loved that because I love the different perspective that she's having or realization of his
Yeah,
character to know that
yeah,
when she empathized with him and now she is realizing what a monster he is really, right? And
yeah,
I think there's still more to know about his character, but ultimately she's forming opinions truly of him.
yeah. I think it's like really quite interesting to see like the opinions of like what Evangeline like starting out, like the opinions that Evangeline had of Jax and the opinion that Jax had of himself.
Yeah.
Because, in the beginning, like Evangeline had like she's like just really, I don't even know if she gives people the benefit of the doubt a lot, and I really
Yeah.
just believe that she doesn't think that people are really born evil. Right. And so he kept telling her throughout the books, like, I'm really not a good person. Like, I would do these horrible things. And it's only until recently that she's like, yeah, he's kind of a monster. Right. And so I feel like Jax kind of like takes it a little bit too far where he's just kind of like, I'm the worst and
Right.
I'm the devil. Right. And like, I mean, he's done some shady things,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, we're starting to see his softer side. Um, and I suspect we'll probably see it even more. But
Yeah, I actually
I don't
wonder
know, it's really
if,
interesting.
because you were saying that her opinion started out with, not everybody's evil, there's two sides to everyone, right? Going through, and then to now he's a monster. I almost wonder if he is doing the opposite, where he was so gung ho, like, I'm a monster, I'm the worst, to now he's still saying it,
Ah,
but I think because of her, he's believing in himself just a little bit more.
yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah. He's like, I actually have a chance. Like,
Somebody cares.
there's hope for me. Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited to read more and to figure out his character more, and Evangeline's, seeing what's going on with Apollo, everybody. I'm so, so excited. Even Marisol, like, I want to know what happens to her. If Luke ever gets a hold of her,
Mhm.
all of it. I'm so excited.
Until next time, we're gonna read chapters 16 to 30. So make sure you read, and you know what, like, subscribe, comment, and let us know your theories, your ideas, your opinions. Let us know and join us next time.